thank you for accepting our invitation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. I heard a new word in here, upcoming sannyasi. I never heard that until today. What does that mean? Thank you. Your invention is attractive. Hare Krishna, dear Prabhus and mothers, Mother Gopijana Vallabha. Nice to see all of you, Mother Lipi Devi, Jai Prabhu. I know a lot of them here. Good. So we're going to sing for a couple minutes and then we're going to begin.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Accept my obeisances. Long time didn't see you.
Yes, yes.
प्रभु जी आपको राधा रमन महाराज भी जानते हैं, अब यहाँ आके गए ह्यूस्टन, यहाँ हमारे यहाँ 10 दिन रुके थे.
Radhanath Swami.
Radha Raman Maharaj.
Oh, Radha Raman Maharaj, he's here.
Yeah, he came to Houston. He stayed about 12 days. And now he's in LA.
Oh.
And after that, he's coming to Florida.
Okay, okay. Wonderful.
So we have a good time. When he was here, we have a morning program, evening program. We were keeping him busy. Prabhuji, you also sometime come to Houston.
I'll come, Prabhu. I'll definitely come to Houston. Thank you. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Baradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Baradhari Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Pariprajagacharya Ashtatara Shatasi Sima Vai Charnar Vinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON BBT founder Acharya, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samaveta Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Partha Sarati Foundation Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Arjun Prabhu ki jai. Sri Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, Prabhus and Mothers, last time I did explain about the mantras that we chant. So, I hope I'm forcing myself to remind that we should always think of jantram, mantram, tantram. That every mantra we chant, everything we do, there should be purpose. Purpose has to be there. Purpose means what is the reason that things exist. If you say why Bhagavad Gita manifested, why do I exist? This is what purpose means. Purpose means the reason. Why do you exist? Why Bhagavad Gita exists? So we should take advantage of it. So jantram means every mantra has a form. Bhagavad Gita has a form. Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter has a form. There is a personality, Krishna himself. His Mukhanisrita Bani, his Amrita Bani, his word is also Krishna. Krishna and Krishna's word is also same. There is no difference. There is no duality. It's a one substance. So we should take it like we are facing Krishna face to face. So we have to have a service attitude. We want to serve the Lord under Srila Prabhupada's guidance, our Guru's guidance. So with that attitude is called Tantram. Tantram means how we approach. And Mantram means, is this bona fide what we are chanting? So all three together produce the result. So I hope you all remember that last time. I thought I did speak. I mean, I do speak about this because I'm trying to hammer it on myself too. So we first pray to that Krishna who is on the lap of Mother Yashoda in the cow barn shed. It's a beautiful form where Gargacharya came to give the name, and he uttered the name Vasudev. When we say Vasudev, we don't mean Vasudev outside Vrindavan. We mean Vasudev on the lap of Mother Yashoda on that 81 days, according to Jiva Goswami, 81 days Namakaran took place for Krishna. It was a private festival, was not a public festival. So it's because they are afraid the Kamsa will find out. But nonetheless, a lot of immersion took place just by saying that word Vasudev. He has awakened his dormant love for his Ishtadev, Gargacharya. He was emotional. It was a very wonderful scenery took place. Of course, Mother Yashoda did something was unbelievable things at that time when he was uttering those names. He was giving Ram and Krishna. So hopefully you can meditate on that. So please chant together because we are in the Zoom. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. The next prayers we do, we appreciate. We express our gratitude. Narayanam namaskritam naranchaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nitam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naistaki. Om Jnanati Mirandhasya Gyenanjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Shapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanitangscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Simate Bhakti Vedanta Saminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschat Deshotarine Namo Maha Pancha Kalpa Taruvesha Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebho Vaishnavebho Namo Mahabhadanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namo. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanto Radha Kanto Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Shute Devi Pranamami Hari. Vancha kalpa taruvesya kripa sindhu bhaye vacha patitanam pavanebho vaishnavebho namo. Vrindaye tulasi devaye priyaye keshavasya cha Vishnu bhakti prade devi sattavate. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Siva Adi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So dear Prabhus and mothers, if I ask you one question, what purpose drove you to be in the Zoom today? Hopefully you can answer that question, and hopefully I pray to Srila Prabhupada and to all of you that please bless me and pray for me also. That purpose should be driven and purpose should be served. Why we do things we do, we must know, and how we are going to get profit out of it. We should. There was no reason for Krishna to really come down to this world to kill the demons, even though it says Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha duskritam. Yes, it did say, but he could have done many things. Through Lord Shiva, through anybody he could kill. He could empower anybody, another Parshuram or someone, just kill everything. But actually main focus is he wants to reawaken our love for him and re-establish our relationship, which is eternally there. Revive. I would not say re-establish, I would say revive our relationship. We have a relationship. How important is Bhagavad Gita? I was thinking this evening. Well, in order to establish the relationship or awaken the relationship, you have to know his identity in details. Bhagavad Gita directly talks about the identity. Bhagavatam talks about the activities. Chaitanya Charitamrita talks about the mentalities. And especially the identity of Krishna, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives in his commentary that the chapter 7 and 8, it's complete knowledge of Aishwarya, the majestic aspect, awe and reverence. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, our goal is not for awe and reverence. Yes, you are right. Because awe and reverence, the sweetness aspect you will see in chapter 9. And both together will be chapter 10 and 11. So this 7 to 12 is Bhakti Yoga, really in Bhagavad Gita, specifically given. I'm just paraphrasing what I read about Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commentary on this. But Prabhus and Mothers, I have a question. Can you actually be in relationship in sweetness without majestic aspect? Well, don't answer. Maybe you can add my understanding from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's to your, and then you answer. No. You have to have a submission first. Submission, we can evoke submission to God, Krishna, only when we are fully aware of his absolute majestic aspect, which is chapter 7 and 8. Chapter 7 and 8 gives vivid explanation, Jnanam, Aishwarya Jnana. And more we understand this chapter 7 and 8, it will evoke our submission. Yes, God is both great and sweet. And then when we come to chapter 9, 10, 11, we'll evoke affection for him. I hope so. So the question back to again, do we need submission or affection? We need both. But without submission, only for affection, you will have a disturbed heart because his sahajiyasm will affect you. Krishna consciousness is not cheap. It is the most valuable, expensive. You have to pay the price like that. You have to submit yourself, surrender, and then you enter into sweetness. Otherwise, not possible. And chapter 7 and 8 is complete knowledge about submission. Without surrendering to Krishna, it is not possible Krishna Prem to be awakened. So with that note, words, we can start this chapter. Words can have a different meaning, Madhurya Gyan is not Madhurya Ras Gyan. I hope you understand when I'm trying to say. Sweetness or Madhurya Rasa is a specific, I would say, congenial rasa. Madhurya Gyan refers to Sri Krishna's sweetness in contrast to his greatness. In short time, we will have a Damodar Leela coming in. Krishna tied up by Mother Yashoda is also Madhurya Gyan. Krishna defeated by Gopas in internal fight is also Madhurya Gyan. These are not Madhurya Rasa. I hope you understand. Conjugal relationship is different than conjugal topics. Tattva. First, we have to get the tattva before we go to Leela. Those who are shooting for Leela, they are called Sahajiyasm. Of course, I'm scared also. Prabhupada says in ISKCON, no, he says, I'm paraphrasing, he says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, one of the purport in Adi Leela, he says, Sahajiyas are bad, but it is worse when our people will take up. It's like, wow. It's like, some people may take up. So it's possible. I hope we don't see it in our life, but I hope we don't. But then Prabhupada said, so it will happen sometime, somewhere. In this chapter and next chapter, we will talk about Krishna's identity, philosophy of Krishna consciousness. It is little more than you are not the body. You are an eternal spirit soul. It's a little more than that. And I hope, because the purpose of this chapter beginning, and I'll give you the end result, what is supposed to happen. End result will be abandon all varieties of religion and surrender unto me. If we do not shoot for that, then something is missing in our process. After understanding these two chapters, if we don't feel that we should surrender to Krishna, then definitely big gap. So please bless me and pray for me so we can begin with this chapter very nicely. Now, first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Last time I spoke in this forum that the distinction between the spirit, living entity, and matter has been established. The living entity has been described as non-material, spiritual soul, capable of elevating himself from material self-identification, you can say ahankar, to spiritual self-realization. And by different types of yoga, the Sankhya Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Astanga Yoga, we finished up to chapter 6. I hope you are aware of it. Arjuna had a biggest problem with his identity crisis. We all have that. We have a 2 identity. We have a conditional identity and we have a constitutional, fundamental identity. So we want to go to fundamental identity, but not only go to fundamental identity, we want to keep the fundamental identity above functional identity. Then problem is over. And this is what we'll see, end of these 6 chapters. So nice. So yoga, this yoga that I just mentioned up to chapter 6, system form a gradual progression, culminating where the chapter 6 end with that we discuss. Middle section that we are starting today of the Gita, 7 through 12, chiefly concerned with Krishna himself. Even though you may say chapter 15 is Purushottam Yoga, but actually these 6 are also Purushottam. Because this is a bhakti confidential, eternal relationship of each of us with him based upon bhakti yoga. Not on chapter 15, but 7 to 12. Our relationship has to be fully established. This chapter, I found three prominent things: knowledge about Krishna and the process of attaining that knowledge. We should remember. And third is, what is the end result of such attainment? I remember I went to one doctor house. He saw Prabhupada, Dr. Duburi. Anyway, I won't say details. He was a very nice man. He kind of a very good well-wisher. Very good well-wisher. But he never got, he never bought the membership in Gaudiya Vaishnava. What I meant, membership means like following 16, chanting 16 ounce, 4 regularity principle, get initiated. These are called buying membership, my way of thinking, that we all want to, and we all are member of ISKCON. What does that mean? ISKCON member, what does that mean? I mean, that is a different level. So one level is the buy membership, but I'm sure he's happy now. He passed away, Dr. Duburi, very nice man. But his daughter became an initiated disciple, and another son now came. I was like so happy. Why I brought about him? Because I used to go to his house for a home program. And in his altar, he has everybody. Nobody is missing. Whether Sai Baba, I don't mean to mention maybe anybody's name, but he has everybody. I didn't even know all these names in India existed. This Baba, that, I said, so Badri Narayan Maharaj, our GVC there, he asked me, why don't you ask him? Why are you asking me? I don't know the answer. You ask him. So I was just thinking, like, how do I ask? I'm always cautious. How do I ask, not making him feel bad, but rather it should make a little transparent transaction, like, okay, he's being simple-hearted, he just said. So I asked, you have everybody in the altar. What is going on? I'm just curious. I'm fascinated. I didn't say him I'm just angry or upset. I'm fascinated to know. Pran Govinda, just don't want to miss, in case if I'm missing the truth. At least one of them will be correct. I said, oh, I see. It's interesting. So I remember we talk about chapter 7. So in that day class, I said to Badrinaran Maharaj, that time he was a Grihastha, I said, maybe we should discuss chapter 7. So it stuck with me. Because chapter 7, Krishna literally, not in a slang way, but in a bully God, like God who reveals himself. Hey, that's me. You'll see 7:7, he says, nobody is equal or above me. Those are like a very bully God, powerful God. You'll never find Bible or Quran or any scripture, any God, any form shape ever spoke like this. So bold, straightforward, clear-cut philosophy. So wonderful. Krishna is so lovable. He revealed the secret. So I remember that's, of course, it took 30 years, but at least his family now became a member, important. They buying membership, they becoming initiated, chanting. So nice. I'm sure wherever he is, he'll probably be happy. We don't need everybody's picture in the altar. We just need Krishna and Guru Parampara. That's all. That's enough. That completes everything. So in this chapter, 1, 2, 3, first 3 verses, as a prelude in which Krishna says the essence, the devotion to me brings full knowledge of me. I hope we all can remember that. The first 3 verses, actually, this is what he's indirectly saying it. And then Krishna says, I'm just paraphrasing, now I shall give you all material and spiritual knowledge. Although knowledge of me is a rare attainment, Then 4 and 5, you will see matter and spirit. What is material? What is spiritual? Now, this is a compositional sense, not application sense. Compositional sense means what is material means and what is spiritual means. Very clear cut, Krishna says, 4 and 5. And then 6, 7, he talks about the origin and dissolution of both energies is the supreme truth. And 8 to 11, and it goes on. I'm not going to give a whole, because as we go, we will explore, and hopefully it will stay in our heart. But in essence, I'm going to give first 4 sloka in a dialogue form from the purport of Prabhupada, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Sometime I'm from village. I was born in a village, but I didn't stay too long. I went to big city. It was a big change. And I always like this dialogue form for me to grasp it easy. So number 1 sloka, what I find, what Arjuna asked on the last sloka of previous chapter, because we are starting chapter 7, text 47, Yoginam api sarvesam. If you look at that verse, so Arjuna's question is, for attaining the level of the highest yogis, is there an alternative, an easier way, instead of sitting down and closing my eye or keeping my eyes in between my eyebrow and focus? It's like a very austere. Is there an easy way? First verse, Krishna says, so sweet. He says, here, Arjuna, the knowledge that will free you. Just hear about me. Tasrinu. You'll see that verse is so beautiful. He said, just hear about me. It will free you from doubt and inspire you to take shelter in me by practicing yoga, and thus make your mind attached to me. Just by hearing. So hearing Bhagavad Gita, hearing about Krishna is so important. The second sloka, because in case if I cannot reach today, I'm looking at the time, is like already ticking. So second sloka, question may raise, what is the nature of the knowledge being imparted? You are talking about hearing this knowledge. What is the nature of the knowledge? In the second sloka, Krishna writes, it is comprehensive. I shall give you both knowledge and realization. Indeed, after knowing this, there is nothing more to be known in this world. Very, very, very bold statement. Very nice. And on the third sloka, Krishna says, Arjuna may ask, is this knowledge widely known? What are you going to give me? Krishna reply, it is rare. It is very rare. Among thousands of humans, only a few endeavor for perfection. Even amongst endeavoring, very rare somebody is perfected. Only few of them will know me in truth. Now you imagine how many people are in Florida and Texas or wherever you are. Well, Mother Lippy is from New York. So wherever you are, and just imagine how many devotees. So it is extremely rare what Krishna says on the third verse. On the fourth verse, Arjuna's question is like, what is the content of this knowledge? So Krishna says very nicely, it's began by perceiving that of all material existence and made the 8 basic elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, and mind, intelligent ego is actually my separated nature. So without delay, we are going to start first sloka. First sloka, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Patit Taran Jagannath Prabhu, thank you. Nice to see you. Maya Ashakta Manapartha Jogam Junjan Madashaya Ashamshayam Samagramam Jata Geshashitassino. Srila Prabhupada's translation. The Supreme Person of Godhead says, now, here, O son of Pritha, Partha. Son of Pritha is Partha. How, by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. I remember we had a little discussion last month in a seminar. I was doing a seminar. One devotee asked, do I first give up the material happiness and then experience the spiritual happiness? Or do I first experience the inner experience happiness and then give up the outer happiness? What should I do? I remember, because Bishara Chakravarti Thakur comment almost similar, so we applied. I said, first you hear about Krishna. Don't try to give up or don't try to take anything. Just hear about Krishna. It is so powerful. It will automatically churn your heart and you will start acting without asking even. Just hear. If you look at that verse, that word, Tat Shrinu, in this first verse, is so powerful. Now hear, O son of Pritha. First we hear and understand how outer happiness is temporary. It will ultimately leads to misery. As Krishna will tell in the next verse. On the other hand, Prabhus and mothers, the inner happiness keeps growing and growing. If you look at 5.21, not Jahisans Parshaja, but just Parshishar Ashaptamana, Bindati Atmani Jat Sukham, Sabrahma Juga Juktatma, Sukham Akshayam Asnute. Krishna 5.21, I remember that verse, that it begins with hearing. When you hearing, we try to move away from outer happiness. Prabhus and mothers, this is practically happening in my life. I was probably more lusty man than anybody in the world. I boldly say that. But I see that it happened in my life just by hearing and chanting, hearing and chanting. Yes, it does. You are become so cautious what you do, how you leave a good impression with communication with anybody, always alert, because inside you are happy. Even by hearing, when we seek outer happiness, we get outer happiness. We understand that this leads to so much of misery, so much of agitation, so much of irritation. At the end of it, there is so much tiny pleasure. It is not worth it. You talk to yourself. I'm not talking philosophy in the book. I'm talking about philosophy in our life. This sloka, this is it. This is our life. Krishna is transforming our life. Therefore, the person feels that let me not pursue this pleasure. This is how gradually a person becomes detached. When this Indian gentleman was trying to get attention from Prabhupada, Prabhupada says, reading Bhagavad Gita, very, very important. How many of you read? So this man saying, Maharaj, I read 100 times. Prabhupada didn't pay attention. Prabhupada is talking to the Western devotees. You all should read it. Everybody should read it. That man again said it 2 times, 3 times. Then he finally come in front of Prabhupada. He says, I read it 1,000 times. Prabhupada said, did you live even for a day of Bhagavad Gita lifestyle? Then man's like step back. He's like quiet and just put his head down, walked away. We can read Bhagavad Gita, but Prabhupada wants us to live our life on Bhagavad Gita. Because more we are happy, satisfied inside our heart through Krishna consciousness, automatically it will convince others. We cannot tell this is everything if I am not believing in it or experiencing in it. This verse, so powerful like this, the first verse. So first we should always focus on hearing. We will see that if we are not hearing regularly, our Krishna consciousness will become weak. We will not be attentive in our chanting. We will not be serious in our cultivation of bhakti. When we are not feeling inner happiness, Prabhus and mothers, naturally we will be dragged to outer happiness. Then we will be collapsed in the sense that we will be dragged away from Sri Krishna. So how far we will go away, we cannot say. So better we will not take that risk. Therefore, we understand that it's all began on hearing. So in this verse, there are beautiful few key points I found. One is hear about Krishna, gain knowledge, change in consciousness. Bhagavatam 2.8.5, you can actually check it if it is happening while you read it. Krishna says, Samagram Mam means hear completely, not little bit. Oh, I like just Damodar Lila. I don't like the philosophy. No, Krishna didn't say that. Krishna says he wants you to hear both greatness and sweetness, side by side, side by side. Greatness will evoke submission, sweetness will evoke affection. We need both. So this is very important. Third point, asangsayam means more we hear, we will be free from doubt. I'm just breaking down the verse. And then Krishna says, Mad Ashraya. Do you feel to depend on Krishna? I don't know what happened in my life. I'm just, Krishna. This is called dependence. It's not bad. Either you pray sincerely or this kind of calamities or challenges should come. You should embrace this because it's intensified. Prabhus and mothers, if you ever come to a hopeless situation, I love one comment of Sripad Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, was so wonderful with Prabhupada that he says, can't we make this life little, this Krishna consciousness life into 3 life instead of 1 life? Can we do that, Prabhupada? Prabhupada says, no, make it in 1 life. But I have so much anxiety with this management in Bombay. It's like so much, I can hardly think of Krishna. Yes, but you are doing it all for Krishna. I said, yes, Prabhupada. So, but I don't focus so much on Krishna so much. Prabhupada said, you do your best. Give this life, 1 life. If you are lacking something, Lord Chaitanya will come down and fill up the gap and take you back home, back to God. Give this life. It affected me. It affected me, and I hope you all get affected. This is such a beautiful. I love Tamal Krishna Maharaj because he's very intriguing with the Prabhupada's relationship. He's always inquiring, he's always, nothing is living like. There are 5 devotees. When Prabhupada said he had a dream that some Vishnu Dutta came to take him just few days before he left this world. But Tamal Krishna Maharaj didn't stop. He said, then what happened? How they look like? He kept on asking, I love those. Because if he didn't ask, we would never know. Then Prabhupada explained. It was so nice. So like this, in this verse, we can also intriguing, like put that question. Krishna, I'm putting it upside down, like Tat Shrinu, the last word I'm putting in first. Say, hear about me. First verse, if you see, Tat Shrinu. Then say, Shamagram Mam. If you get complete knowledge, more you hear about me, it will change your consciousness. The way you think, way you feel, way you are aware, it will change. Come on, Prabhus and mothers, be honest. It is changing within you. It is changing in me. A rascal like me can have a change. Definitely, you all are great soul, definitely happening. And it will make you asamshayam. Asamshayam means becoming free from doubt. Samshaya means doubt. Asamshaya means doubt is disappearing. Then Krishna says, Madashraya. You should feel like depending on me. Shelter on me. Then Krishna says, Jogam Junjam. Jogam Junjam means you feel like to chant. You feel like to do devotional service. Yes, good. These are the symptoms from this verse. And then last word, Mai Ashakta Mana. You are focusing on me. Your mind is focusing. Even 5 minutes, even 10 minutes. Yes, this is happening. So 6 result from the first verse is so nice. Now, 9 process of devotional service. In the purport, Prabhupada gave a beautiful purport. But you all are familiar with 9 process of devotional service. Sarvanam Kirtanam. And how to hear Srinata Punna Sravana Kirtana. All these verses in the purport, you'll see Prabhupada gives a beautiful, beautiful purport. I'm just scared of going everything because then we will be here 3-4 hours. But Srinata Saddayar, Srinatam Sakatham Krishna Punna Sravana Kirtana. Okay, I'll just say one sentence at least on that because otherwise I'll feel guilty. Yes, just by hearing, somebody is cleaning our heart. Prabhus and mothers, you are not doing it. You are only paying attention. That's all. You are paying attention. But after you join, after some seriousness, you may face some struggle, challenges in your life. Actually, it was there in a impression, sanskar, purva sanskar, adhunik sanskar, 2 types of impression you have in your heart. So you have some sanskar and some sanskar is surfacing on your heart now. Krishna is cleaning, but he is a kind, loving, preeminently lovable friend or master or however way you address. But to understand that he is not a dictator. He is not a whimsical God. He's an organized God. He cares for you. He wants, like Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj came to God not to serve him, came to God to get bigger kingdom than his father and other. I'm sure you all know that. Sthano Vilasho, that famous verse is there. But what did he become? He wanted to become selfish to selfless. So do not feel bad. Even if you don't become completely selfless servant, it's all right. But keep on going, even with selfish motive. Dhruva Maharaj had this. So Srinata Sakata Krishna doesn't mean Krishna will remove everything from your heart. That's why I say Nasta Prayeshu. The word Prayeshu means almost. I was like, why almost? Why Bhagavatam says almost? Why not completely 100%? Almost. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nittam bhagavata seva. It's almost. Almost doesn't mean 100%. Almost means they are, but you have to do something on your own. Krishna will not move it. Bhagavatam will not purify it. Krishna will throw it, throw it, throw it. But if you do not recognize anything happens in your life for me to change my consciousness, I have to see why Krishna is sanctioning this. I don't like this. Why he's sanctioning this? Because without sanction, nothing appears in front of you, whether through the mind, through the senses, or physical, or whatever. You have to ask that why this is there, why that person is disturbing me, or why this incident happened, or whatever happened. Krishna's hand is there. There's a lesson to be learned. If we do not learn the lesson, Krishna will repeat it. This is called Vidunoti. Vidunoti. Dhunoti means cleaning. Vidunoti means very nicely cleaning. But to have a very nicely special cleaning, Prabhu and mothers, you need the ingredients. Just a cloth will not do it. You may need some, cleaning liquids or something, soap or something. So like this, those are called your confession. My Lord, I'm so sorry. I probably have so much dirt. Please, please protect me. Please. These are required. To regret, to repent is required to clean the heart. It is, I would say it is compulsory. Because without repent and regret, there is no way you will come to correct yourself or to become serious. And there is no way you will become responsible. You will avoid it. That temple didn't give me facility, I won't go there. But that's not the purpose. Our life, our purpose, life, to serve Krishna through his devotee, by serving the devotee under guidance, not escaping from one place or one community or one family to another. No, this is not what it is. You become a person, everybody wants to be with you. Prabhus and mothers, what is the value of your presence if nobody missed in your absence? Tell me. Am I right or wrong? Why do we miss Prabhupada? Why do I miss Tamal Krishna Maharaj? Because his presence was valuable. Their presence was so valuable. Each of us, Krishna wants us to become like that. It is necessary. Okay. Krishna, time is taking so quick. Okay, next verse, text 2. Yenam te aham savijnanam idam vakshami asheshataha jatkyattaneha bhuya naj gyattabham avashishyate. I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and noumenal, by knowing which there shall remain nothing further to be known. So beautiful. Prabhupada purport, he says, complete knowledge includes knowledge of phenomenal world and the spirit behind it. The source of both of them is transcendental knowledge. Isn't it so sweet? Ishopanishad gives the sloka. Generally, we think we should only hear about Krishna. Oh, we need to hear about Krishna's Maya. I didn't say Maya. I said Krishna's Maya. This is what Prabhupada is trying to say. We have to understand Krishna's Maya as much we understand Krishna. Then you will stay away from Maya. Because jnana generally refers to theoretical, Vigyan refers to realization or transformational knowledge. Here Srila Prabhupada used in a slightly different way. He put Jnanam, phenomenal knowledge. I hope you notice that. And Vigyanam, numinous knowledge. Now, what is the phenomena and noumena? These are actually very philosophical terms. To understand these terms, we have to recognize that philosophy itself is search for deeper reality beyond the normal. What is the normal perception? So phenomena refers to things as it appears to us. And noumena refers to things as they actually are, independent of our sense perception. Now, what is the difference between the two? The first paragraph that Prabhupada wrote is so wonderful. One of the fundamental insights while studying spiritual knowledge is that not only spiritual knowledge, but any methodology in a serious way. Previous class I mentioned, to understand something, you have to stand under. Prabhupada said, I didn't break down that English. He said, understand means stand under, means always serving under Guru's guidance. So even in the Western intellectual history, as well as in the Vedic history, the idea is always that the way things appears, the way things are actually are, there is a difference. Now the question is, we perceive world by our senses. If we put aside our senses, then how we can know these things as they are? This question also present in the Western philosophy. There is something called, I'm sure you all heard it, or maybe not, empiricism and rationalism. So empiricism refers to direct perception, empirical knowledge. Prabhupada used that word, we say. And rationalism refers to knowledge through reasoning. And among those two ways of knowledge, there is a conflict. So empiricism is prataksha, you can say. Jiva Goswami Pad gives, there is a five way to understand, five level of knowledge in Krishna consciousness. First is prataksha. And rationalism is anuman. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had a big argument with his brother-in-law. I'm sure you all read it, chapter 6, Madhya Lila Chaitanya Chaitamrita. And the argument was so beautiful. Right in front of Lord Chaitanya, one is saying he's not Supreme God and one is saying he's Supreme God. How good conversation it can be, right in front of Lord Chaitanya. Gopinath Acharya says he is the absolute truth, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya says, hey, just by saying he is the absolute truth, I don't accept it. Would you ever imagine to be in front of Lord Chaitanya and somebody is challenging whether he is Supreme Lord or not? So phenomenal. So this question came and Gopinath Acharya says, Anuman praman nahe Krishna tattva gyane, kripa bina ishware keho nahi jane. This Anuman, rationalism, is not the way to find out God. It is only mercy of the devotee who knows him can allow you to enter in that mystery. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also referred. Jnana referred to Aishwarya, Vigyan referred to Madhurya, greatness of God and sweetness of God. So this second sloka is very beautiful. It's very beautiful. And we should meditate on this first line, and we should be eager to understand Krishna's Maya as much as Krishna's pastimes. Then we will be out of Maya. To get out of Maya, you have to understand Krishna's Maya. Not Maya, Krishna's Maya. Prabhus and mothers, you know, in Bhagavad Gita, you all know the conclusion that there was a 3 level I mentioned. One level is satisfaction, successful. The whole Bhagavad Gita pursuance, Krishna pursued Arjuna through conversation. He wanted him to exhibit how a conditioned soul will come to a surrender, constitutional soul. And he did it, 1873. And Krishna was successful. He got success. After speaking Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna surrendered and says, Karishye vachanam tava. I'm ready to do what you want me to do. But another level we see, Sanjay was also successful. He was very happy. He was crying. He awakened his love for Lord. So that was a great success. We can relate to that. But there is also sad things happen. That Sanjay converts the same thing while Krishna is conversing with Arjuna to Dhritarashtra, but nothing happened. Dhritarashtra did not change his heart. So I am bringing that, just be careful. Dhritarashtra only problem was he would not accept. In the introduction of Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada, so wonderful. Prabhupada says, even if somebody don't believe in Krishna, at least temporarily accept Krishna as a Supreme Lord while reading Bhagavad Gita in order to get the benefit. So I was thinking like, wow, what a bribing, like Prabhupada was bribing. In the introduction, you can read one paragraph Prabhupada says, it's so fascinating that just accept it. Why are you reading Bhagavad Gita? You want to get benefit, no? You can get benefit. Just accept Krishna as a Supreme Lord and take his instruction as it is. You will not become Dhritarashtra. You will get heart transformed. There are many things from the second verse we can draw literally. When we see also first verse and second verse, that our attachment in this world, Maya Shakta Manapartha, Jogam Junjam, the first verse is, our attachment, if you consider like a rental property, I don't know if you ever rented a shop or house or something, when you don't want to leave, what you get? Anybody knows? When you don't want to leave, what the tenant does? You get evicted. In America, they call eviction. Well, you go to court, there's a whole process. So Prabhus and mothers, either you voluntarily try to give up this material existence, or you will be evicted. And it will be a big harassment that you will not be able to enjoy material even. So what is the benefit? Nothing benefit. So, okay, let's go back to so text 2, what do we understand? That prescription is given that Jnanam te aham sa vijnana. So there is Krishna, there is you, soul, and this material world. This 6 question, you should always pondering on it. What is Krishna's relationship with me? What is Krishna's relationship with Maya? What is Maya's relationship with Krishna? What is Maya's relationship with me? What is my relationship with Krishna? What is my relationship with Maya? When you have this triangle, this is what the second verse I understand, that nothing further shall remain to know if you know all these 3 relationships. That's it. So beautiful, but it is a lot of contemplation we have to do. Third verse, Krishna Bhakta is extremely rare. How rare are they? Manishyanam sahasreshu kaschit jatati siddhaye jatatam api siddhanam kaschit mam vittita tata. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection. And of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. This purport is so beautiful, but we can't, we'll take just few sentences. But if any one of you have highlighted any sentence or anything that, okay, let's talk about that, it's fine too. Because there's so much nectar Prabhupada gave. I take it this way, that if one of us becomes serious devotee, inspired to become a really surrendered soul, is more important than thousands of Houston or Florida people. If one of us can become a surrendered soul, that's all Krishna is saying. When we apply the Bhagavad Gita and become positively transformed, we feel inspired to share its wisdom with others. And while sharing this, we frequently find that people are not very interested. They are more impressed by materially talented speaker, even if they lack spiritual substance. If people's lacks luster response disheartens us, Prabhus and mothers, remember this verse, that it's not easy to become a devotee of Krishna. We should never be depressed on the success of preaching, because Krishna says here that is very rare somebody become his surrendered soul. Very rare. People are fascinated with the material talent, material opulence, material this. So we should not be disappointed. We should rather keep on growing. Yes, it is rare. I'm looking for that one soul who will surrender. And you search out. Of course, proportion to your surrender, you can infect others. You cannot give more than you have. Mahaprabhu says, apani achari dharma jeep ke shikhay, apani na koile dharma shikhana na jai. Chapter 4 Adilila, Mahaprabhu says, you cannot affect others which you don't have within you. How much I surrender, that much I can promote surrender in others. That's why in our movement, we see that leaders, they are surrendered souls, they are affecting others. And more we surrender, we can affect others. In text 3, it's so beautiful. I'll just break it into a very simple way, that rarely man achieve perfection. Out of perfected soul, rarely some understand Krishna. So what does that means? There's a different grades of man. People are interested in animal propensity, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Every human is doing, but that's not human nature. It's an animal. Athato Brahma Jigyasa, if they do not inquire about Brahman, then they are actually animalistic life. So Krishna is here, Manushanam Sahasreshu. He says transcendental knowledge. Those who are discussing soul, super soul, this perishable body, they are rare. Prabhus and mothers, we are rare. Even in the Zoom, these are rare souls. It's not like those souls Krishna talking in the 3rd verse somewhere else. Krishna is talking about us, that they are rare soul. And Krishna says, they try to understand me. What they understand? That absolute truth, cause of all causes. Krishna is the cause of all causes. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All of 6 opulences in full. This is what Prabhupada's purport summarizing in it. Key bullet point. Can only be known by process of Krishna consciousness. Krishna will not be known by anybody except bhakti. Those who are engaged in the devotional service like chanting, hearing, they will understand Krishna, not anybody else. And process of bhakti is not easy to practice as proclaimed by impersonalists. But then Prabhupada challenged them. If they think it is easy, why they don't practice? Because it is not easy. Okay. I will stop here instead of going to 4 and 5 are together. But I will ask if anybody has something more to share or discuss. We went a little over that time. Is that okay?
Dear devotees, if anyone has any questions for Prabhuji from today's session, you can please kindly raise your hand. Ishupanishad Mataji, can you? Okay.
Hare Krishna. It's been a while. I've been trying to become a part of your association with these lectures, and finally I've made it. So Prabhu, you got my attention when you said eviction. It said if we don't, I guess, get our act together, we can become evicted. Could you propound on that a little bit more? Because I just came in on it, and I want you to share with me what you were meaning with that.
You probably, Madhasi Upanishad, you probably read that Prabhupada's pastime in Hawaii when he was going on a morning walk. And Prabhupada said, what's going on here? He said, oh, these termites people, pest control, exterminator, I don't know however you say it, in each place is different. They are evicted, they are evicting, kicking out the cockroaches, roaches from the 25th floor, because in 25th floor was the highest floor in Hawaii in early 70s. Then Prabhupada says, why don't you find out if the owner who built this building also lived in this building on 25th floor? From nowhere, he just said like that. And they really find out, yes, the owner who died, he said the man who was so proud, did not practice Krishna, God consciousness, was so proud, I have the highest, floor, or what do you call, penthouse, or whatever, fancy word you can use, the top floor. I'm enjoying, but he did not know that he has to come back. Prabhupada was very simple way he asked, why roaches on 25th floor? Tell me, how the roaches comes on 25th floor? Because that's the attachment that man. Then Prabhupada says, but he did not know he will be kicked out. You know what the pest control people do? They literally kick out all the roaches from the house when they spray their thing. So that's called eviction. Eviction, in a sense, he was so proud being an American, 25th floor, owner of a building. But what a life of roaches. And you don't know what the next life. This is called eviction. It's very sad. Very sad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
We need to thank you for the wonderful question. So we need to make as many devotees possible, at least bring them some sort of Krishna consciousness in their life. Otherwise, they will be evicted from this body.
Thank you, Prabhu. Haribol.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji. Ila Mataji, can you unmute, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Your lecture is so profound. I don't know where to begin, but I just wanted to thank you for helping me to identify myself. You know the saying in English that goes like this, that I was lost now I'm found. I don't know if you know about that one, but
Yes.
you do. Yeah, you just in 1 hour, that's how I feel. So Krishna bless you in every way. I don't have any questions because you pretty much just summoned everything all in 1 hour, and thank you so much. I think I'm gonna cry, but thank you so much for blessing me this way. And Krishna is so kind that he always blessed me this way. So, at the beginning, you said that, why did you all come here? What made you come here? And I said, this session, I'm just not going to miss because I don't know this Guruji. I've never heard him, but I'm going to hear because I feel that in my heart, there's something about him that's going to really attract me to Krishna more. And you did. And thank you for that. Bhagwan bless you so much. Okay, bye. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ila Mataji. Amit Prabhu, can you unmute yourself, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, the class was wonderful. Though it is little bit more philosophical side, I'm not that much of philosophical oriented person. But my question is that when we are talking about empirical and when you said that it is pratyaksh, so can you please elaborate or can you please give me an example to understand that thing?
Science started originally from empiric to rational. That is empirical. That Newton observed fruit falling. I'm sure you all heard it. Now, most of the people who observe fruit falling will just eat it. I mean, I used to do that in my childhood. Even neighbor's house, fruit fall, I would just try to cross, which is not legal, but you cross the fence, go get the fruit and eat while going to school. I did it a few times, I remember, which is not bona fide, but in village you do it. So, but when Newton saw that, good, that fruit fell down when I was there. But a thinker like Newton thought, why does this fruit fall down? And after that, Prabhu, one moves to rational. Rationality means one tries to come up with a logical framework of conceptual understanding, which makes sense of the world around us. That's why this verse, if you look at the Sanskrit, Jnanam te aham savijnanam, means as the things are and Vijnanam as the things actually are. That would roughly correlate with Western rationalistic idea. That actually beyond the things appear, there is a framework which we need to understand. Now, in our disciplic succession, different Acharya gave different meaning of Gyan and Vigyan. I mentioned Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also talks about Gyan refer to Aishwarya, Vigyan refer to Madhurya. Anyhow, that's another subject. But I hope this gives you some idea. Is that okay, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji, yes. I'm very much, yeah, Prabhuji, I'm try to able to understand and I'm good with this explanation also. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much, Amit Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Pran.
Thank you.
It was a very, very enlightening session. As he was speaking, I actually felt I would request Harila Prabhu that entire 7th chapter, if it could be covered by you, because we would not want to lose the trail of thought that you are sharing with us. I mean, we are very, very grateful to Harila Prabhu for introducing you to all of us. At least I never heard you before. And with this, every session I attend, I'm like, I just lose track of time, and I'm like, I wish we could go on. So thank you very, very, very much, Prabhuji, for enlightening us and keeping us very engrossed in the katha and not lose track of what you are trying to share, especially because you said chapters 7 and 8 are going to teach us about submission. And I just felt that I was actually into it in these 3 verses. So I don't know what your schedule is, Prabhuji, but if you can again come next Monday to enlighten us, we will be very grateful.
Definitely, I'll try. Thank you.
Very
Thank
much,
you.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So we can end here. I'm in an ashram, Brahmachari ashram. We have a new ashram. So they need to go to sleep. It's almost 10 here.
Yes,
Sorry.
Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Prabhuji, so much. You have really enlightened us. You know, in the beginning that you have gave before you begin this is like a beginning of Bhakti Yoga session. And whatever you have given us to get into the really Bhakti Yoga, little bit technical, but very nicely you have presented the beginning of this Bhakti Yoga session. So we are very thankful for that clear understanding that you gave us how to understand each word of the verses and try to, even though it is like because of the time frame, you could not go much deep into it and much more explanation. I'm sure if you are given time for each verse, then it may go even more elaborate. But whatever you have done, I mean, you know, it's just kind of you have just scratched the surface of it, you know, but still it is so nice and so enlivening, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. And on our end, we will see our schedule, and if your schedule permit, we'll see what's going on. I'll be in touch with you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpataruvesya kripa sindhuveva bhakti-vedanta Vaishnavebhyo namo Srila Prabhupada.
Peace.
Pran Govind Prabhu ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna, Pranam Prabhuji.
Thank you, dear devotees, for joining our session. We will see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Can I end the session, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.